So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the loss of EU funding could seriously affect Northern Ireland's economy. So we've talked previously, depending about how the scheduling goes up, that the UK have dramatically cut the EU. God, I can't remember the phrase now, but sort of the EU contributions, direct funding to the UK. It has it here actually. I've just stumbled all over this video right now. Here it is. As a member of the EU, the UK received these numbers here. So the structural funds. There we go. Sorry about that. Butchered that. Bad intro. So we've talked previously about how the UK has cut the amount of EU structural funds the UK is meant to get. So under the EU, we'd receive about 1.3 billion, or we would have received 1.3 billion in 2022-23, depending on when the cut-off point is, but that's been cut to 0.4 billion. And as a result of that, Northern Ireland is going to struggle massively. Northern Ireland, a place where the UK generally doesn't look after it at all, which causes further problems. One of the reasons why there's so much, kind of violence in Northern Ireland, unionist-linked violence, is to do with poverty. Stormont's Department for the Economy has warned that the loss of EU funding could have seriously negative consequences for its services. And this isn't to blame the EU. The EU haven't done this. This is the Tories who have done this. The department received substantial grants from an EU fund, the ERDF. That funding will no longer be available as a result of Brexit and has not been fully replaced by the UK government. And this is something the UK government had promised. They promised would have even more money, because if you think about it, our net contributions to the EU was like a half of 350 million. Without us making those contributions, we could give that money to, I don't know, the NHS or to these funds. Well, that's not materialised. The UK has got a fat divorce bill to pay. And the government has decided not to actually shell out and replace the funding like they promised, which, surprise, surprise, should shock absolutely nobody. But if you do vote Tory in Northern Ireland, have I got news for you, pal? So, Assembly members were told one consequence could be cutting apprenticeships by 50%. Is this what levelling up looks like? Cutting apprenticeships by 50%. What kind of impact is that going to have long term on the people of Northern Ireland who won't have as many trade experts, trades, carpentry, plumbing, etc., because of Tory cuts? These are, better paying jobs as well. And they will help people who aren't the best academically, but are better, I can't remember the phrase now, better within trades, better with their hands, essentially. Sharon Hetherington, the department's finance director, was setting out the potential effects of Stormont's 3-year draft budget. Her presentation outlined how over the next 3 years, more than 100 million in core funding, which would have come from the EU, will no longer be available. That is more than double the approximately 45 million cash increases the department is getting from Stormont funds. So department funding will decline during the budget because of the lack of replacement structural funding for core services. And, it shows you how dramatic the cuts are to this, and the fact that the government are trying to spin it as, we're giving you money, but it's like, you're not going to replace the money we lost. It's like, oh yeah, sad times, isn't it? Sucks to be you. She added that skills and innovation programs would feel the worse off, and there are no soft options to balance the books. And the thing is, right, they said, Britain, needs that entrepreneurial spirit again. We can trade with the rest of the world, our hinterland, and blah, blah, blah. Well, you've just cut, funding for people to develop their skills and innovation programs. How are they supposed to develop the skills to become entrepreneurs if you've cut the funding for them? Riddle me that, Daniel Hannan. These people. Cutting university places. How is that going to help the people of Northern Ireland, where they have to cut university placements? People who are going to go on potentially to maybe get arts degrees, but hopefully get stuff more in science. How is this going to help the people of Northern Ireland? Riddle me that, Brexiteers. Aside from cuts to apprenticeships, other options being considered are cutting the number of university placements and slowing down the rollout of city deals. The SDLP Economy and Brexit spokesperson Matthew O'Toole said the numbers were shocking. We already knew Brexit was terrible for Northern Ireland's economy, but today at the Assembly Economy Committee, civil servants laid bare devastating scale of EU funding loss for things like apprenticeships and skills. And, the DUP keep banging on about the Northern Ireland Protocol, right? If the DUP cared about the good people of Northern Ireland, right, this here is the stuff the DUP would be talking about. But they don't care. Not really, because all they care about is their free wings. They want to be part of the union. The union who has done this to the people of Northern Ireland. The department is losing more than £100 million in core funding from the EU, which dwarfs the entire increase in the department's budget for the next 3 years. Like this, these are huge. Sorry about the chair creaking. These are huge cuts to the Tory to Northern Ireland, and the people, the MPs and or whatever they're called in Stormont, have to start kicking up a bigger fuss about this. These are the things they should be discussing and talking about. Not the Northern Ireland protocol's bad because it hurts my feelings. Not this stuff. These are the things here. The lack of structural funds, the lack of replacement. Honestly, this stuff absolutely so frustrating. We've talked previously about how farmers in Northern Ireland are facing issues because of the loss of EU subsidies. Now this, you're taking away people's futures from them. This makes me very, very angry. But it's up to the people of Northern Ireland and the rest of the people in the UK to actually do something here, because it won't be just Northern Ireland that suffer this. It'll be councils and schools, etc., across the board, who have relied on EU structural funds because the UK government under Dave and Theresa May made massive cuts to these areas, and so the EU had to step in to fund them. This is just shocking stuff here from a shocking government. But yeah. This, if I had a DUP member as my elected representative, I would be like, look man, I don't care about the protocol, I care about this stuff. And why don't you go tell, if the union is so precious to the Tory party, why don't you ask them, why are you cutting funds for? You said you would replace all of the EU structural funds. Where are they at, dog? Where are they? Because you're taking away people's futures now. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.